Hello. I am actually pretty excited because um I finally, well, I say finally, I got a headset. I realized that, well, to me, because I'm very um vibration sensitive, that things are not as loud to other people in terms of when I talk. And a couple times I've rewatched some of my videos just so I can remember what went on that day and things that were on my mind. And I was like, wow, I really need to up the volume. But at the exact same time, I normally, you know, I and then I thought to myself, a headset. And this was even perfect because this color is one of my favorites. Um, and I got pretty excited actually because it's like a pastel pastel colored purple. But then if you look at it in a different light a little bit, it looks a little bit bluish. And I not necessarily in terms of wearing it, but in terms of items and such, I find it interesting. So in the past, I pretty much just prefer between black and gray. I didn't really have much color. I mean, and now I've sort of expanded a little bit more. I say expanded. My viewpoint in terms of adding a little bit more color in my life, especially the color purple. I wonder why, huh? But and so with now, sometimes when I look at things in the store, I go, do they have that in purple? Because normally my reaction is, do they have that in black, gray, silver, um, things like that, or depends on the article of clothing, it depends on stuff, but now I'm like, okay, well, if I still prefer darker shades, but then I would be like, it's like the darkest shade of purple and things like that. So I would start adding a little bit more color, a little bit more color. Um, and it was especially today, actually, because I saw some of the other headsets and I was like, okay, like some of them looked, cool, but they didn't really speak to me. And because it's getting closer to the holiday season, or to me it's like winter solstice, um and because it's getting closer, I feel a little bit hesitant to spend it on something for myself. um so I was like, you know a little bit hesitant, a little bit. So I told myself that if one of them really like just speaks to me, kind of like, then I'll go for it, especially if it doesn't cost as much. And so I was like, okay, I'll look around. And then at first I was like, okay, maybe today's not the day. Doing it based upon a webcam or on my phone, it is fine, you know. Um, I applaud like streamers and people who do this, like in terms of how high quality and everything like that. And because I've been wanting to do like a little bit more, but I have to do it like slowly, get out of my comfort zone, because if I do what I normally do and just run and run out of like energy, life points, things like that. If I go from 1 to like 1,000, I'm going to get obsessive, and things might not be pretty. But at the exact same time, I knew that this is kind of something that I wanted to give it a little bit of a shot. And part of it also is because a long time ago, it was a dream that I wanted to put together some sort of content, like, it's not anything fancy. I just wanted to put some of my ideas and thoughts together in terms of a video format. So a long time ago, I experimented with just so much of the basics of like AMVs. I, they were so basic, but apparently they were like not terrible for what I had the ability to do, because I didn't have any sort of like finances or whatever into being able to do anything further. And I still, I'm not thinking of, I just applaud, and I get inspired by some of the filmmakers or even like directors and stuff like that, of whatever level of production that I watch on YouTube, and I appreciate them. And to have that eye, to have that ability to do all that editing and all the, and I'm not thinking about doing anything that's like that intensive, but I just wanted to possibly put some of the things together and just feel it out. And I think that's kind of what um, and it's one of those things where I guess you can say BTS kind of like guided me back to it. I got inspired a lot by the Golden Closet films and Winter Bear, the video that, Tay helped put together for Winter Bear. And just in general, I've always kind of wanted, and nothing that's technically is going to be as high in terms of quality. And I know I sound like I'm down talking, degrading myself. I have a really bad habit of degrading myself. I've gotten a little bit better, but let's be realistic here. When you've had a really toxic bad habit for like most, if not all your life, it's gonna take a while to find ways to reverse the cycle. I've in certain aspects I've gotten a little bit better about it, but other aspects I have to find ways to catch myself. Yeah, and so what was I saying? Oh, downgrading. Oh, so like I've been thinking about it, and uh nothing too crazy. Might start off just something really small. Here and there, I'm not exactly sure. It's just something that came out of my um I'm not used to having a headset on that has like, it's just so, I just feel so I bet when I used to play when I used to be really active in a guild I used to be a part of, I bet they would really wish I had this back then. Because then it would be like, we're supposed to attack here. Go that way. Memories. But yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I just thought about that recently, and I find this hilarious. So, when I was putting things together for a little party that I did for Jin's birthday, and lately I've been, turning some of the lights and, the thing that I made for him on just to be like, you know, out there with Jin. For a little bit as I, come to, I not focusing on that. Anyways, so I got this. It's around the time that Indigo came out, and I find this hilarious. Actually, I didn't do this on purpose. So it says inhale, exhale. I have a tattoo right here. It's called Breathe, right here, and so I have to deal with like my panic and my anxiety and surviving and reminders of myself. What I find this interesting is this. This is the color indigo. And inhale, exhale actually first reminded me of J-Hope and my own sayings of inhale, exhale. Weird pause right there. Because I just remembered I had to do something. So, sorry about that. So, yeah, I was talking about this, and I actually just realized that this actually was, oh, um, like indigo, and I find it because, I was watching with Suga and Namjoon talking, while drinking, the Suicidal. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Um, anyway. But when when they were talking about the color indigo, and in the actual in the video when Yoongi's talking, he goes over like the palette between blue and black, mixing it together, and uh, I was like, it looks like I planned it. No. I just really wanted this because, like I said, I had the word breathe tattooed on my wrist, and, um, and now whenever I see inhale, exhale, I think of Hobie, and, and I, and I also think of my own, like, mantra of, like, just remembering to breathe, and also, um, ties up with the song I'm Fine, which I've occasionally been thinking about a lot lately. Things have been chaotic, things have been, um, and I've come to terms with the fact that, I might have, I might have taken a pause. I was about to say take a step back, but I realized that I didn't take a step back. I literally just took a pause, and it was, and I had to remember certain things, and I had to try to process things. So this is a really good reminder, and it's honestly perfect, and it's perfect in the sense that it reminds me of the guys, and it is a reminder to myself when I'm in a dark place that this is something I need to do. And lately, when I'm in that dark place, a song plays in my head, and sometimes my brain's like, let's pick a song. um, you know, and now lately, the song Wildflower is starting to like, uh, occasionally like come to me in my brain when I'm thinking, because it's like, you want to stay grounded, you want to stay, that's where you want to be. You want to be grounded, you want to be amidst the fields, and then the plants and everything. And with me, it's, one of my calming zones when I want to practice meditating or something on those sorts. Um, and so that song lately has been coming to me. Overall, in general, my brain plays the game of what song today, what song this hour, what song this minute, what song, um, and, it's caught my, comfort. And actually, uh, I've always happened, this has been like my entire life, ever since I was little. Um, and like I've said before, but I will greatly say it again. My habit of talking in circles helps sometimes when these vlogs have been sporadic or whatever. But I will say this, that having these moments when in my life where uh, in terms of communicating with people, it's always, a lot of it's been through music, a lot of it's been through some sort of creative art. I write a lot, well, I used to. I'm starting to do that again. Um, it's been through some sort of, because I've always had issues with actually communicating through words. Um, I was in intensive speech therapy for many years, but and since my mental breakdown, it's been finding what works again, because what might have worked back then might not work now, but the only thing that has stayed consistently with me is music. And since, with like my mental breakdown and everything like that that I went through, the only thing that actually worked, well, okay, there are two things. Um, One was, I have my cat, who actually does this thing where he checks to see if I'm alive. And he does it in a way that even if I do respond, it has to be enough amount for him to consider that being alive. Like, I will just be laying there and my hand would be like, it would be on the side of the bed, or it would be wherever, and he will come up and he'll be like this. And even if my hand is like that, in order to respond to him, he doesn't consider that a response. He wants to know that I am physically alive, or some sort of mentally there, in order to give him a full response. So I would say he definitely helped save me in the process. And of course BTS, because music was the only, it was, I can't even say music, because I think what hurt the most was this. Music has always been a huge part of my life. Always. And since I listen to a wide variety of music, and I have songs for each emotion, depending on what my brain's going through, what my body's going through, what energy level I want to feel and stuff. And I've always been that type of person that just has mountains and mountains of playlists. But music stopped causing emotion. Like, and it scared me. It was really starting to scare me. That's when I realized that I was on the edge. And I was almost beyond the edge. I was like, and the only ones that became wings to come and not, I won't say rescue me, but I would say to give me a soft enough landing to know that I was still alive. Because I didn't really even feel alive anymore. I really felt like I was scared of myself. And I didn't even really feel in terms of like actually the fact that I couldn't feel anything anymore. I couldn't feel anything. I could barely feel that I was alive. So I knew two things were going to happen. It was either I was going to commit myself to a hospital and let someone else watch me because I was scared of myself. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't quite feel like I wanted to die, but I didn't really feel like I wanted to be alive. Something like that. And honestly, I'm in a better place now. I'm just reflecting a lot, and this is why this is such an importance to me. For this, and especially indigo, like indigo in general, because Namjoon's mind. I'm not quite like JK. I don't want to switch and have Namjoon's brain be my brain. You know, I don't know if I could actually handle that. I could barely handle my brain, and I'm really not that level of uh intellect and everything. And that is because I'm I no um I mean, I can learn from what he has like gifted to us in terms of indigo, or in my opinion, you know, his masterpiece of mono, and or just his knit and gritty with Rap Monster with RM. Oh, oh, okay, okay. um, Honestly though, I will say this to the moon and back. I've been trying to just take things one step at a time, because I'm the type of individual that fantasizes about doing certain projects and certain things, and there's no problem with that. But my problem lies in the fact that when I start to research and I start to become in the process of doing these things, and I see that there's a conflict, and I see that there is something that might not work the way that I originally thought in my brain, I freeze up and I don't know what I'm doing. And I go into my cycle of self um, degradation, and I'm trying not to. Um, Trying really hard. So this is also a reminder of just taking things one step at a time, you know. Inhales one step, exhales another step. It doesn't always have to be then in terms of like, but it's also okay. I'm going like so fast in my head, but talking wise, I'm not there yet. Actually, I don't think I ever really will be, because my brain is normally like this, and just won't happen. um, but also when I think of more with J Hope and think about when he says inhale, exhale, talking about his ambition and wanting and craving more, and knowing that it's okay to want that level of ambition, that level of that side of you. It's okay. It doesn't necessarily have to be um, level of panic. So that kind of actually helps me. At least that's how I view it. And yeah. I think this is it's been a while since my brain's been a little bit more clear-headed. Um, Also, um, I think that I'm just overall present and here, and um, also, so I've been trying to I donate I've been trying to donate plasma like regularly. I took a break because things were going crazy for a while, and then I went back to donating, and then I got sick, and um, I talked about that with my health scare update and everything. So and since I went back to trying to normalize things again, since uh, I di- it's not like I convinced myself that it was better to not do anything for a while, but I guess I didn't realize how much my body needed to be moving around, and despite some limitations I had for a while, and everything, apparently my iron levels and everything got really depleted. So because I went back to, for a couple weeks, I had tried to go back to donating again. I donate plasma. Donating blood is a little bit too harsh on my body. So, donating plasma is a little bit less harsh. So I got, excited. Yes, I got excited for actually, like, donating plasma and everything like that, and learning how that my, I qualify. What I mean by that is, ever since growing up and everything like that, I've tried to donate blood so many times. I've always been rejected. I know that before in the past, my health has been uh, more un. My health is not exactly stable right now, but I have learned to manage it a lot better. It was not at that point growing up, and they pretty much told me to stop trying. Yeah. So it's been a little bit discouraging in terms of wanting to donate blood, but knowing that there is probably a majority chance that they would reject me, because I've literally been told to not try. I wish I was lying or over exaggerating, but I'm not. So when I found out that I can donate plasma and not be an issue, I got really excited because I've always wanted to donate. And so with that happening, and that was inspired by the guys, because I've always wanted to, but with their encouragement, I was like, okay, well, I know I can't really donate blood due to X, Y, and Z, and apparently my blood is weird. Their words, not the doctor's words, not mine. But because, and then I was like, okay, I'll give donating plasma a shot. There's a center not that far away from where I live. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I qualified. Yes. But, okay, so back to today, or rather a couple of weeks, since I've gotten a lot better, I started moving around a lot more, and my iron levels were really low. And I know that part of it was because I was really sick, and, uh, part of it when I was really sick, and everything like that, I actually, I'm pretty sure I was, hyperthermic at one point before I actually started getting, like, and I won't say before I got to, downstairs where I actually get some help, and everything, because all I remembered was apparently, literally freezing. Um, uh, it was not something I really want my brain to relive right now, so I'm just gonna skim over a little bit about that. And what I meant by that was, so I read, and I try not to Google your symptoms because, my brain doesn't need help to imagine that something is like X, Y, and Z is wrong. Is wrong with you. Um, but I will say this though. Apparently when you're iron and everything like that, it can feel in terms of like cold and hypothermia if it gets like really bad. Um, yeah, 2 weeks ago my iron levels was at like, so you need a minimum of a 37 in terms like the score for your iron levels. Mine was at 30. And I was like, I went through, and then I ended up taking some iron supplements because I think one time I tried to like not, and I started just like try to consume things that were just higher iron. But apparently my body needed a little bit more of a push, and because it wasn't really I probably that would have had to take like 2 or 3 weeks in order for my body to get that motion in terms of like a actual intake of food. And so I just went ahead and do some iron supplements, and my iron levels finally got to 38 today. And so I got to donate, and I was so happy. And this is a really long vlog. So, inhale, exhale. Now my brain can't think of saying those two words without hearing Hobie's or Jay in my brain saying, inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Okay, well, I'm signing off, and if anyone is actually watching this further out, and I appreciate you, and thanks for joining me on my journey. So,